So I'm really excited about this new carbon monoxide detector that I got. It's battery powered. I'm going to tell you what I like about it. There's one thing that I don't like so much about it, and I'm going to show you a test that you could produce at home so you can test your carbon monoxide detector. So I got this because I travel a lot in Mexico, and if you stay in hotel rooms, things like that, they don't typically have carbon monoxide detectors in the rooms like they do in the United States or in most places in the US. And there have been a number of people who have lost their lives due to carbon monoxide poisoning. So I love having this. It was really affordable. It's really small, and it's great. It's battery powered. It has a 9-volt battery in it. So I don't have to worry about plugging it into the wall. So I can use this kind of anywhere if you're a camper or something like that, or you want to use it in your car. It is really flexible that way. I'm not sure how long the battery is going to last. It does have a battery dying warning, so you can pop in another, just a standard 9-volt battery. So to use it, it's really simple. You just push the on button, it'll light up the LCD display, and then it takes, I think, 90 seconds. It'll count down while it is, you should do this outside because it's calibrating against clean air. So you want to do that outside or somewhere where you know the air is clean, because then it will be able to detect carbon monoxide if there is any. And then it does have an LCD display, which I really like because the carbon monoxide detectors in my house just beep when they reach a certain level, but I never know when the level is getting high or if they're beeping, if it's incredibly high or not high, just a little bit high, how quickly I need to get out of the house. Now, to turn it off, you need to hold the power button for 3 seconds and it'll beep while it's doing that. So you can't just accidentally turn this off. And you can set the time on here and also display the parts per million of carbon monoxide. I think 50 is when it starts to get dangerous. Or the maximum parts per million is an option too. And it is backlit when you start pushing the buttons. And it does come with a little loop that you can use to hang this from if you're like a backpacker or something, you want to hold it with you and not lose it. So I was really curious if this worked. And so I'm definitely going to be trying it out we have a house in Mexico where we have a gas stove, and I'm really curious about the carbon monoxide that comes off of that because I know it comes off of that. So I learned that the way to test this is with a smoldering match. So you can see here, the number starts going up slowly as it senses more carbon monoxide. So when the carbon monoxide gets up to 50 parts per million, it has an alarm, which is a pretty loud alarm for such a small device. And it also has a flashing light that comes on. And then as it increases, once it gets up over 200 parts per million, it also adds in a vibration. So it's vibrating too. And then once it's away from the carbon monoxide or the carbon monoxide starts to lower, it starts to come back down. But it will still display the maximum if you push the button. Now this gets me to the one thing that I don't like about this, and I don't understand quite why, but every time I've tested this, after it's done and then there's no carbon monoxide around, I'll even go outside, the display doesn't go back to 0. And I'm not quite sure why that is. It stopped at 9, it stopped at 12, and it stopped at 17. But if you go in and you push the off button, turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll recalibrate after 90 seconds and it goes back to 0. I'm not too concerned. I'm really concerned more about this thing waking me up or getting me out of a room when there is carbon monoxide than having it go back to 0 when it's done. So I give this thing a 2 thumbs up.